Hey folks, welcome back. Today we're continuing our first exploration playthrough of KSP2. Let's get started. So last time we had just visited Cappy Rock. It was quite an ordeal getting there because we had some trouble launching our rover. But we made it. We drove about 20 kilometers from our landing site to the site we're supposed to explore. We could do that again today with Stargazer Point, which is our next objective, but I'm thinking I actually might want to try to go to Minimus today and launch a super heavy rocket there. Let's take a look at our mission control. So objectives. So we actually have two objectives on Minimus right now. We have the Minimus Monument, and we have the Little Chonker. I'm thinking I want to try to do both of those today. We'll probably start with a small probe for Minimus, and then we'll head for the Chonker later. So let's. We got 125 science, which is probably not enough to buy anything at this point. Let's go to the VAB. And the question is, do I want to send my rover so we could try to build a rocket here that will get this monstrosity to Minimus. Since we know that this is a working rover that can land and everything, I think it's going to be kind of a disaster, but we also keep running out of fuel on landing and having to use the parachutes, which isn't really going to help us at Minimus. So that's a consideration. So for that reason, so we're going to start by changing this and saving it. I did change the workspace file name. Okay. Mini rover Mark III rocket. That's weird. That's a bug. Either that or I double clicked or something weird. That's also possible. Okay, got that. Let's we need to add way more delta V to this. Let's look at our trip planner. Keeping in mind that this is not going to be optimal efficiency because of this nonsense we got going on up here. I think we also got some new payload stuff. We could play around with. I thought we had a medium payload bay, but I'm not seeing it here. Let's take a look at our Indy real quick. So I thought there was a medium payload bay. Did we not unlock that yet? We didn't. Shoot, we need 400 science for that. So I'm looking forward to getting this medium scallop. I think that will help with this rover immensely, assuming the aerodynamics of the payload fairing actually works, which somebody in another stream that I was watching said that it wasn't working. So it might not make a difference in either case. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this off of here, put that aside for a minute, and we're going to add some more rockets down to this stage here. We don't have fuel lines yet either, so... And let's put some aerodynamics. We don't have large aerodynamics either, so we got that, which is kind of a messy thing here. And then we need more engines, of course. Here we go. Right now our thrust to weight ratio is 0.617, which is awful. So we're going to add mainsails here, and that should fix it right up. Our thrust to weight ratio is 7.6, which is quite a bit better. Thinking we could potentially think about, you know, I think this is probably fine. I'm actually going to change out, because we have all this, I'm going to change out this upper stage engine and make it a little bit smaller engine what we have there now. We have a skipper there. That might be okay, actually. But we could also go with the poodle. I think with this, if we put SRBs on it, we should be able to get it to space with this. So we're gonna try to do it with this. Do this with the poodle, which is gonna be a little more fuel efficient for us. Did I lose a coupler here? I did, yeah. Whoops. Gonna need that. Okay, let's make sure we got our staging right here. Apparently it is, of course, not. Oh, this goes down with these guys, that's why it's confused. Okay, so bottom 5, staging, middle, staging, landing rockets. I don't know if this is going to be enough, but Minimus is an easy landing, so we'll see. Okay. I mean, it's a very small body. Doesn't have a lot of gravity. So it's easy to land on, but it takes more oomph to get into orbit of it. Okay, we're going to try that. I think we're going to need a little more stability assistance with these things, probably. And some medium reaction wheels, something like that. And then maybe some more electrical, just in case. I mean, this thing's going to generate plenty of electrical power while it's launching, so I don't think I have to worry about that too much. We'll see how this does. Oh, we need to combine these things. Here we go. Alright, we're going to try to launch this and see how we do. If we're lucky, maybe we'll get to Minimus on the first try. I doubt it, though. Actually, let's check the trip planner. We're just doing one way for now. So this theoretically has half, again, as much DV as we need to reach this surface. In practice, a lot of the DV is going to get wasted, so we'll see how it goes. Gravity turn a little bit as soon as we can manage it. Might be a problem to steer this once we lose the SRBs, we'll see. We do have the stabilizers though. We're climbing quick. To throttle back the main engines a little bit, let the SRBs exhaust themselves. I don't want to get... Yeah, I think we're gonna end up getting enough juice just from the SRBs. We could save our Delta V here. Just to get rid of those. And then we're going to coast up to our apoapsis. Let's do the time warp again. But not yet. Okay, and then we'll get a line for this burn. This is going to be a 1 minute and 30-second burn, so we got to start pretty early. Trying to see if there's any other. Oh, I forgot to take off the parachutes. Oh well. Nothing to be done about it now. But I think we can start our burn now. Oh, squirrely. I think the mass of the rover is off center. How are we doing here? Yeah, got quite a high apoapsis, but we got quite a bit of thrust to make up as well. Let's thrust a little more towards the horizon. This is the orbital engine, so we got to be careful not to fall behind the apoapsis here, but I think we're okay. Yeah, we're fine. So we got 2000 dV left in this stage, which I think should be enough, hopefully. We'll see when we get up there. We might need to dock and refuel, which would be a pain. We're also going to need to adjust our orbital inclination, so that's a concern. It's okay if we lose a little bit of altitude here. Here it comes. Alright, we're in orbit. Okay, now set up our destination. I think that's a craft. Where's Minmus? This guy? Here. It's blocking me from clicking on. There we go. Okay. Set target. Okay, now we have. Guys, glitch. It's not showing. Oh, here it is. Okay, descending node 14.2. It's not great. What? Why is it maxing out at 2.1 degrees? Is it because we're not right on the node? That's very odd. This seems to be the best we can do. We'll see what happens when we get there. It'll probably move ascending or descending. We might have to make multiple adjustments here because we're so far off. Started too late. Let's do another adjustment instead of trying to just keep thrusting through. That came out wrong. There we go, now we're getting closer. Okay, so we should be going the opposite way this time. It's a shame that the lights on the river aren't working. Is there a piece here that we can jettison, by the way? I forgot. No, I guess that's part of the lander. The way that we designed it before. Okay, so we get down to the 25-second mark is when we'll start. Just gonna watch the node. We used about half of our DV. We'll see if we have enough DV to get there. Perfect. That's spot on. Okay. Now, just have to get there. Can we get there with 1800 DV? Oops. Promising. Oh, we're getting a gravity assist from the moon. That's cool. That's why the orbit keeps shortening and lengthening. That's awesome. Okay. We'll totally go for that. I think that's what's happening anyway. Hopefully that's speeding us up and not slowing us down. See if we can time it right to get the least amount of delta V here. It is Minmus we're going to, right? Damn things is blocking the body that we're trying to. Okay, so that's the moon giving us a gravity assist. The problem is we're not going to get there at the right time. But maybe that's not going to work for us. If you wanted to get a escape from Kerbal sphere, that would be a good way to do it. But it's not helping us get to Minmus, because the timing's wrong. We might be able to just use it to increase our orbit and then wait for Minmus to come around. I think it plows us directly into the face of the moon, which is probably not what we want. Let's go around a couple orbits and see if that helps us out at all. I think we could potentially get the proper alignment, but we'd have to wait for months, I guess. Like, let's wait. Maybe the moon's on the right spot now. Let's try. No, it's moving away, so it's going to be a while. I think we don't have to worry about oxygen, otherwise we'd be in trouble. So we need the moon to be like here, I guess? Relative to Minmus. What is this, by the way? Oh, that's Stargazer Point. Would really like waiting for the stars to align here so I don't have to use as much fuel. Well, waiting for the planets to align anyway. Or moons. Slightly smaller than stars. I just want to double check where we're at. So if we wanted to intercept the moon, we would have to start over here. Right, more or less. Did I get it wrong? Where's the moon? You know, it occurs to me that it might not work out because of the the vertical alignment of the orbit. Come on, don't do that. So you're adding. The moon probably also has to be crossing minimus orbit in order for this to work. I really wish I could get rid of all these damn tooltips. It drives me absolutely crazy. Okay. Let's see if there's a setting. User interface. Here we go. Show vessel labels off. That did nothing. See if this makes any difference. That also did nothing. I'm tempted to destroy all these orbiters. Kind of tempted to raise my orbit just so that I can fast forward faster. Might do that. Kind of a waste of DV though, which sort of defeats the whole point of doing this. Okay, we got something going on there. Oh, stop. Okay, we're just gonna go direct to Minimus. I'm gonna stop worrying about this nonsense. Looks like we're getting an encounter there, maybe? We are getting an encounter. I think we can do a little better, maybe? Maybe not. Stop it. Why if I rotate this over here, does it suddenly take me outside Kerbin's sphere of influence? I don't understand that. Okay, well this gets me there. It requires 909 DV. Okay, seems doable. Okay, and this is going to be almost a 2-minute burn because we have this crappy engine on us still. But the next engine is the landing engine, so we actually have to start burning now. Fast forward took us a little bit too far forward. Can make adjustments if we need to. There we go. That's Mun. Flying off into the sunset. Okay, we're just gonna keep thrusting until we get an encounter. And then we'll stop. This needs to be here. Okay. That's good enough. All right. Can I plot something on here? It doesn't let me do it. Okay, that's only 164 dV. Not bad. We should see if there's any science we can do here while we're in high orbit. Can find the science things with the lights not working. It should be in... There's one. So we got samples. If we can get those back, which we, I think, eventually will, that'll be worthwhile. I think it's the only experiment we have right now because we didn't bring the atmosphere thing. We got 2 hours to mess around, so we can do a crew observation report as well here. You didn't launch by the crew member? Are you kidding? Son of... We can... Okay, we're reverting to the VAB. Oh, pain in the butt. Okay, we're gonna stick a crew member in there and then save it before we do anything else. Valentina, as always, you're the first one into the breach. That's the wrong save. Here we go. Alright, gotta check out a work thing real quick, so I'm gonna go AFK. It shouldn't take more than a minute. I'll be right back. Hey guys, sorry about that, we're back. Okay, so we got a crew member in the cockpit now. While we're here, let's take off the parachutes. And... I wonder if we should move this also. It's probably fine. Oh, we could get rid of that stage, I guess, because that's not there anymore. How much does this thing weigh? This little nose cone. Doesn't say here. 0.051 tons. I mean, we could save some DV if we don't have to bring in that with us the whole way. So this one will trigger manually once we get into orbit to get rid of that, or once we get out of the atmosphere anyway. Why did it change the vehicle name again? This game drives me crazy, I swear to God. Alright. Too aggressive. Gravity turn. Oh god. So these things are still going. Getting a little bit of heat problems here. Hopefully that should chill out in a second. Good. Okay. Come on. So we could at this point get rid of this guy. There we go. We still have the decoupler stuck to our rocket. I'm not entirely sure if that's any better than having the nose cone stuck there. Maybe it should have been a stack separator instead of the decoupler. I feel like those things never work right though. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna have to start thrusting towards the horizon here. keep the maneuver node on because that's keeping our nose lined up properly. No, it's not helping anyway, so... Here it comes. Gonna waste a little bit of DV here because I'm not doing this the most efficient way. Let's go up to here and then continue our burn there. Very good. Okay, we're in orbit. Now, Minimus, here we come. I don't want to set that vessel as a target, I want to set Minimus as a target. I mean, it's around orbit around Minimus. Problem is, this doesn't give me any information about the Minimus orbit. It's completely useless. How did I get this to work before? Up this? Set target, there we go. Okay, we're coming up on the descending node. Okay, close enough. So this should be the normal. Yeah, okay. Okay, I think that's close enough. Still not perfect, but... Okay, now where's Minimus is there. Come on now. Oh, there's an encounter. Let's see if we can save a little DV and still get that encounter. Stop it! Stop it! Stop! Oh god. Why do you do this to me, game? Okay. That's pretty good. Maybe we catch it a little bit earlier and maybe be able to save a little more DV still. Stop. Okay. It looks promising. This periapsis of only 2,000 kilometers. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, this is going to be a 2-minute burn, just like before. Oh, what's happening here? How the hell did we get lower in Kerbin's orbit? We've got enough speed that we should be able to just dip out of the atmosphere again and thrust from right here, but still, this is just annoying. Physics bug. Okay, we're about to be out of the atmosphere again. Okay, we're actually getting close to the point where we want to thrust anyway, so... Okay, so this would be 45 seconds is about when we want to start. It's 47 actually. That's about right. I think the wobble of the craft is messing with our ascending descending nodes a little bit. I don't think it's going to make a big difference though. I hope. There we go, now it's starting to grow. Actually not sure why I guess we're ascending into orbit, that's why this is going up. There we go. Okay, we got an encounter. It's watching Kerbal spin away into the distance. The overlight's working, by the way? Still not working. Okay, we got our high orbit samples. Let's get a crew report. Interesting thing about the crew observations now is that you don't get any extra science for returning them back to Kerbal. They can just completely be transmitted. Here we go. 6 science points. Not bad. In there, you see it slowly curving along the sphere. There we are. Alright, we're in orbit. Now comes the tricky part. Let's save it. Okay, we already got high orbit Minmus. Let's make sure we get a low orbit report from Minmus and transmit it before we try to land. Not sure what constitutes a low orbit on Minimus. On other bodies, this would already be a low orbit, probably. Well, no, I guess we're quite far out, actually. Let's try that. I wonder if our engines are going to be too powerful to manage landing on Minmus. Look how quickly this is changing with our little grubby engine. Okay, let's try that. Oh my goodness, I swear to God, if this person messages me one more time on that lunch, it's not their fault. They're offshore. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Be right back. Alright, back. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, we're actually trying to land on this polar site. Okay. So we're probably going to want to actually... Let's swoop down into low orbit here. We'll see if it's low orbit anyway. That's scary when it comes hurtling towards you like that, isn't it? What on earth is this? Okay, we didn't really need to turn around. That's okay. Okay, now we gotta get the science instruments on the rover working. Still in high orbit. Okay. Alright, well, let's plot our maneuver while we're up here. Or while we're down here, rather. Landing in that exact spot is going to be a trick. I think it's most efficient if we stop. Please, just need a new mouse. That technically gets us in the vicinity, but I think we probably want to be in orbit and make adjustments after that fact. This is actually a very small DV change, which I'm happy with. That brings us within 23,599 meters. Okay, I'm actually really happy with this maneuver. So because we're at the point of the highest potential energy, that's when we spend the lowest DV. Once we get down here and all the potential energy is converted into kinetic, so we go really slow and have high potential energy when we're up at the top of our orbit here. And when we go down to the periapsis, we have very high velocity and low potential energy. So then, you know, it's harder to make changes at that point. So this is where we're going to make our maneuver. We're just getting into a polar orbit, basically, or semi-polar orbit, whatever you want to call that. Once we do that, then I think we're gonna lower our orbit so we have a more circular orbit at this low altitude, and then we'll land, or try to. It's gonna be a very, very short burn. Careful not to overdo it here. They may, after we get our orbit adjusted here, I'm also going to want to deploy the landing legs, I think, in preparation for this maneuver. Make sure we are clear of the planet. There we go. Okay, and down we go. So we're getting faster and faster as we get closer. Boom. Okay, here we are. Look at that. How cool is this? Exciting. I'm looking forward to exploring some of these areas. All right. Yeah, we are in low orbit now. Very good. Okay, you get environment samples, but no data. I guess we got samples before from our previous satellite. This time, though, we got a crew report. So we can go ahead and transmit that. Okay, that's as much science as we're going to get without either landing or returning our samples. So we're going to try to land. I haven't given any thought to how we're going to get this stuff off of the surface once we get there. We're going to try to save some landing fuel for that if we can. But we can't land on this monstrosity, so we'll see how that goes. Actually, it doesn't matter because we're going to detach the rover anyway. So we might have to be able to land something else on top of the rover later, or we could maybe have our scientists disembark and go to another vehicle once we landed here to recover the crew member. Because they already have a rover on the ground, we wouldn't need to land a rover, we just need something that can lift off and get us back to Kerbin. Okay, let's save it. I think we're gonna go back up to high orbit, because I don't want to try to land when this target is on the night side of Minmus if we can help it. I'm hoping it'll rotate around to the day side. Oh, it's, we probably should have lowered our orbit actually. I think it's gonna be on the night side again by the time we get back. Well, we'll see. Yeah. It was stuck in pause mode, even though it was showing that it wasn't unpaused. Okay, so we're gonna lower our orbit here. Look how easily this adjusts. We're gonna have way more DV than we actually need. Okay, good enough. Okay, now we're gonna go around a couple times. I want this to be in the light. Oh, I think these two craft got so close together that it thought I was trying to dock or something. Odds of me hitting this are extraordinarily low, though. Because space is pretty big. And we're only intersecting at 1 or 2 points in our orbit. If that. Probably not even that. We're getting close at 1 or 2 points in our orbit, but I don't think we're actually intersecting at all. Okay, it looks like on the next pass we might be good to go. Land right on the night line. Okay, let's stop here. See if we want to plot a maneuver. I think we're going to try to land here. Stop. Oops. That's not what I wanted. I figure what's the smallest orbit I can get that crosses over that point. So we want to lead it a little bit here. Okay, let's do this first. Let it thrust all the way to nothing, and then we'll get going in the direction that we want. Come on. Stop. So annoying. Okay. Okay, I think that's about where we want to be. Wish me luck, guys. But only 30 seconds until the burn. It's gonna be an 8-second burn. As soon as we finish this burn, then we're gonna be worrying about putting our landing gear out. Good. Okay. Let's put our gear out. This thing's gonna bounce like crazy when we land, because I have to land very lightly. Probably. Okay, we'll save it again here. Okay, let's plot our next maneuver. Make corrections as we go here. I'm gonna land in this crater where the monument is. Trying to correct for the fact that the crater is moving relative to our orbit. So I have to make small corrections as we get there, probably. Let's aim to overshoot a little bit. No. I think that's good. I think that's pretty good. Don't need to be on 3x speed anymore. No. Nope. Misclicked. I think we're right on the money here. Gonna change the positioning of this maneuver node slightly. There we go. What the heck happened to the music? Sounds like we're underwater all of a sudden. And the maneuver node's not working. I think I'm gonna reload from save because I don't know what the heck's going on here. I don't know if you guys hear the change. That was weird. I think the game is glitching out there. I want to try to land when I'm in a state where I can't even like edit maneuver nodes. I think maybe we had a memory leak or something when we were. There we go. Trying to get an idea of about how much DV is required. Okay, it's going to be a 14-second burn to arrest our horizontal momentum. So we'll drop our orbital velocity down to 0. And then we got to quickly detach and switch on the landing thrusters. Here comes the monument. We should be able to see it. There it is, guys. What is that? I think this should be an easy landing. Famous last words. that should not land directly underneath us here. Okay, we got the... Good. Landing thrusters activated. I'm gonna get a little bit of distance from the other thing there. Beautiful. Now we wait. This is hardly going to take any fuel at all, I think. Oh yeah, our lights are even working. How about that? My screenshot button is not working, however. There we go. At least it didn't make the noise. I wonder if that debris is going to impact and explode, or whether it's just going to be there now. As long as it's not directly underneath us, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we got so much control authority on Minmus here. Not to worry about coming in too fast. See, I completely killed my speed instantly. Just by maxing out the throttle for a second. We're gonna have to be careful not to thrust too high so we don't float. It's 1,200 meters. Slowing down a little bit. What is this shadow? Surely that's not the shadow of my craft here. Oh, it's the crater shadow. Okay. To get a teeny tiny little bit of thrust going, just to slow down our descent. As long as we're less than 10 meters per second, we're good. Still 100 meters from the ground. Crap. It's actually okay, we could kind of just stand up on our thing here. Try to get righted again, maybe? Come on now. We had the misfortune of landing on a hill that was covered in the shadow of the... the shadow of the crater, so I didn't see it until we were on top of it. Okay, we're gonna try turning off SAS and just letting it settle. On SAS for second to stabilize it. Okay, and I think we're good. Alright, we've touched down. Are we officially in the crater? Minimus craters. We'll do observations here. Okay, we're gonna transmit before we try to disengage this thing. You can also get samples from the ground. We might even... we'll see how the rover performs. It might just fly off the face of Minimus and launch itself into the air, which could be a problem. Okay, let's turn off auto suspension. See if we can lift the rover here. Okay, we're gonna disengage. Why do I have no control? Okay. What the crap? Oh no. It doesn't really matter if this thing crashes as long as the rover's okay, but I'd like to save it if I can. I think we're all right now. They're on the ground, we just have to let this thing kind of settle. And fix the orientation. Okay, so this thing's in the shadow of the crater, so the rover is on its side. We can fix that as well, fortunately. Switch to rover controls first. Actually, no, let's control from here. And we want to point directly up at the sky. We need our SAS mode updated for that. Okay, we want to turn right. There we go. Extend our little foot here. I gotta switch our SAS mode back and get control of this thing. Really, friction's not a thing on Minimus. Oh no. Trying to get a hold of it. Oh, we're still controlling from the... Okay, that'll do it. Braking, okay. It looks like the wheels are turning in the right direction, but the rover's going the opposite way. Do I still have one of these on all? No. Okay, let's do that. We'll turn. Controls are reversed. Try controlling from here. That's not right either. Oh. Yeah, we've got the rover pointed in the right direction. That's a start. I think the motion of the wheels is actually... Oh. So rover doesn't work on Minimus because there's not enough gravity. You can maneuver it like this, basically. Kind of use the SAS to just hop to where we need to be. Kind of a pain in the butt, but it'll do the trick. And I think we're going to be on foot from here on out as soon as we get the rover down to the monument here. Whole crater is going into shadow though, so we might have some issues. I feel like going at this speed, we're practically in orbit. I mean, we might be, honestly. We won't be when we hit the crater wall, but we are for now. Excuse me. At least we're in a crater, so we got something to make it easy to break. Okay, we're actually rolling now. I'm going to roll forward a little bit. We're just going to get some air. Not what I had in mind. But hey, we're getting closer to the monument. Oh, so we got the objective. Kind of just rotating the rover to grip onto the hillside here to stop it from rolling. We try to extend this, but I don't think it's going to work too well. Maybe. Okay, I'm impressed actually. We're able to stop the rover. Very good. Okay, so let's do our reports. It is now clear that we are not alone. What is this creature? It is not Kerbal, nor is it Kraken. Who were the builders of this strange and beautiful monument? A creature. I guess that's a creature? Anyway, we're transmitting. Nice. Okay, and we're going to try to do an EVA here. I think it's going to be kind of a disaster, but we'll see. Ooh. Okay, we're kind of okay, actually. Hopefully we can land without bouncing too much.
He's wet.
Who was that? Hey, B-Pat, welcome aboard. Thanks for the follow. Okay, let's go ahead and plant the flag. Run the surface survey before we do the flag. Okay. Minmus Monument. You, Valentina, Kerbin head to. Landed with a rover, but the rover had no traction because there's practically no gravity. A transformer there in the dark? This is actually my rover, so what I did, I'll show you in a second. So there's no gravity. There we go. Yeah, as soon as we get our flag planted, I'm going to take another screenshot and then we'll walk over there and I'll show you. It changed my flag. It's supposed to be that teal logo. That's a bug. That's weird. Anyway, yeah, so what I did here was I put headlights on the front so we can see what we're doing, and then I put red red light on the port side and a green light on the starboard side, so you can kind of tell how it's oriented from a distance, which is like a standard thing that they do on Navy ships. And the Dragon capsule from SpaceX also has that. But this is so this is my rover. It's got a lander can on top, and then I've got in here I've got a mini Science Junior thing and some batteries, and then there's an SAS module on each end. I've got like a kickstand here for just for parking, to use it as a parking brake, and then I've got more batteries and stuff inside here, and then there's solar panels. Let me actually put one of those out. There we go. There's the solar panels. There's no sun here right now, but we'll deploy that so that when we do get sun, we'll be able to get some energy back. Got plenty of batteries though. Let's fly a little bit. It's actually possible to get into orbit using just the RCS jets on the backpack of the Kerbal from Minimus, I think. Oh, that's cool. We landed on the rim of this like inner crater here. So what kind of creature is that? Is there a creature there? I can't see that. It's like a... Oh, it is like a creature. Look at that. Cool part is jetpacks you refill when you return to the craft forever. Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna have to just chill here for a bit, I think. Probably a Minimus day, which is not long at all as far as I remember. And just wait until this comes to the sunlight so we can actually see what we're looking at here. There we go, look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. That's cool. I haven't seen all the monuments yet. This is only the second one that we've encountered. So I didn't see them all in the first game either. Actually, I didn't see any of them in the first game, although I saw screenshots of the one on the moon, I think. Alright, so we can actually do some other science here. So we just did science in here, and we did science in the crater. We might be able to get the rover out of the crater and go do some science junioring out there. Found some coordinates on forums for hidden monuments, the ones that don't appear in story mode, but I think they're there because they will add missions later, maybe. Alright, so we're getting batteries now. We should be, because we got the sun coming in. So we should be charged up and good to go when we get in here. Let's get the ladder open. Alright, we got it. We're back on the rover. Before we go, let's see if we can transmit... Oh, shoot, I just pressed the wrong button. I don't know which one of these is the rover, so we'll just click that one. Okay. I don't know if the research is what we're looking for here. That. There we go. we can transmit some surface sample data here. Let's do that before we do anything else. And sure enough, we're at full electric charge again. Why does this thing have monopropellant, by the way? I don't think we have a monopropellant tank in here. Maybe there's some that's built into the probe core or something like that. That's probably what it is. Lander Ken has it integrated. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so let's do that. We'll pack up the solar panels. Yeah, so this is what the rover looks like in daylight. We'll pack up the landing gear. Then I'm going to see if we can get reconnected to our lander. I don't think we're going to be able to, but we're going to try. This will be enough to get us started. Doesn't want to. Can't turn with this setup though because there's not enough traction. Since you have a rover here, did you drive to other biomes? That's what we're about to try to do now. Or, well, actually, what I was going to do was go to the lander and see if I can get connected again, and then lift off and then go land somewhere else. We could do it, but just with the rover. But this rover is so hard to drive; it's really difficult to handle in this environment. So, I think it's easier if we could use the lander. And the lander's got plenty of fuel left. Kind of just hop. Using the SAS module. Getting it underneath the lander is going to be tricky. Actually, I take it back. It's not going to be tricky because we can just prop the lander sideways and leave it that way. I can rotate. In fact, it looks like it's on its side right now. Hopefully it didn't break any parts off. I don't think it did. Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm gonna ram the lander here. It's okay though. The lander can help us come to a stop. That's fine. We'll see if we can stop on this slope here. I don't know if we'll be able to. Need to shoot. I got a phone call. I gotta see what this is real quick. Hold on, guys. How do I actually pause the game? There we go. I'm back. Sorry about that. Bugs annoying when you drive or walk away and warp lander gets tipped on the side every time. Fine in low gravity, sucks on high gravity surfaces. Yeah, I can see that. That is very annoying. Yeah, because we definitely, I did go to the trouble of landing the lander upright. You're right about that. Come on. This is a pretty bad bug, actually. I just need this thing to stop. I don't care what orientation it winds up in, because we can fix that later. Hopefully it should. Come on. You piece of crap. Yeah, there's no like friction, things just glide around. I don't think it's strictly a problem on Minimus. I've had the problem on Kerbin too. But I think it's worse on Minimus because of the gravity. Okay, let's try to break here again. Okay, we're stationary for now. I'm gonna try to flip the lander over and get it over there. Power of the almighty SAS module. We can do it. I could lift this thing off, but I don't think I need to. That's what I was trying to do, but didn't want to cooperate. Okay, we're gonna try turning off SAS. Okay, now maybe we can drive it under. We'll see in a second. Actually, what if I do this? Let me see if I can turn this. What I want to do is just prop this up like that using the SAS to keep it still. But I guess it doesn't quite have enough juice for that. SAS, that is. Oh, no. Oh, cool. Yeah, only for the lander stage. Why? Sorry, answering a real quick work question. I suggest using Xenon. I don't have Xenon yet. We'll get there pretty soon, though. We might be able to after this mission, but I think there's a couple other things I want to get first, probably. Hoppity hop, hoppity hop, hoppity hop, hop, hop. Notice that the rover like barely fits underneath there, so I really have to like tilt this thing up on its side in order to make this work. We'll see. I think on Minimus it's not going to be too hard. Let's see if we can get it to stop here. Stay there. Okay, we got it stationary. That's pretty good. No, other way, other way. I want it to like stay like that. Doesn't have to stay there permanently, just long enough for me to drive this thing underneath. Might not be possible though. We'll see. Come on. Piece of crap, why are you going downhill? That's not how I set you. Ah! The physics of this game sucks. It's kind of hilarious, actually. A game that's so, like, science-based. Maybe. We could try it. It wouldn't hurt anything, I guess. It's worth it. Oh! I think I have to first turn on SAS. I think I might try to re-land the lander on top of this thing. I think it's going to be easier to do it that way. Although this is staying up in the air, which is nice. Maybe let's try to kind of hop it over there. Bunny hop, you can do it. Or not. With a little juice. We got plenty. At least get this stupid thing on a flat surface. That would help. Okay, we got this settled. Let's try this again. Make sure both SAS are in the right mode. SAS only. This is an all mode. That's part of the problem we were having before, I think. Okay, I'm gonna try driving backward. I'm actually using the rotate function of the SAS to get it going. Oh. We're dancing. Controls on this are really messed up. It might also be part of the problem. Stop. Stop. Oh my god, we're so close. Can we make it fit? If it fits, it sits. That's the rule. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong way. Tilting it the wrong way. Set that as target. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but... Oh shit. I hit the rover with this thing. Now it's flying. I feel like it'd be more efficient at this point just to send another lander. Oh my god. No! No! Okay. Can we? Can we? Please? Oh, this is torture. Come on, we can do it. We can do it. Missile is out of EC. That must be the lander, right? That's gonna be a problem. I'll get disconnected on this attempt, I think. Otherwise, we're SOL. We'll have to send another craft, which isn't the end of the world. This is what I was planning to do originally anyway, but I thought since we had so much fuel, we had an opportunity to get this done, maybe. God. Or that might be a different craft altogether. Who knows? Come on. Oh, we're so close. You can do it, buddy. Magnetic! Magnetic! Do your magnet thing. Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god, yes! That's amazing. Okay. We're in business. Alright, we're gonna save that. Okay, now where to? So we've explored Crater. We could probably explore Highlands. I think I'm just gonna kind of pick a direction and fly that direction. Turn off my phone's make an alarm or something. Okay. You're gonna just kind of... What? Did I just see a boulder flying through the air, or was that a... I think it was a camera trick. I think we were looking from underneath the terrain or something. Oops. Problems. Okay. I think that might actually be enough to get us out of the crater. No, I lied. This cannot be right. I think we're controlling it from the wrong point. Yeah, there we go. Not even enough. Don't even have enough DV to have an orbital trajectory, but we're sailing out of the crater as far as I can tell. We could definitely make it to orbit with this setup. I just wish I could see my apoapsis and know whether we're gonna be able to land somewhere or not. Okay, let's try to get a little more horizontal velocity. Oh, this thing's a little squirrely. No, still have no trajectory. But we're definitely out of the crater, so... There we go. Should be able to land now. See if it tells us what biome we're in. Minimus snowdrifts, cool. It says we're landed. Okay. I'm gonna get some more AC as we're descending here. Could also turn off SAS to conserve energy. Get a lot of SAS on this thing for its size. There you go. The actual distance above the ground, not the distance above sea level, whatever the hell that means in this context. I'm not gaining EC as fast as I hoped we would. That's okay. Fold these in so we don't lose them somehow during landing. Actually, we're going to stabilize in this orientation as opposed to in our inverse retrograde direction. Should be good. Gentle little bump. Turn off SAS so it stops bumping us around, and then again to stabilize, and we're good. I just noticed we actually lost a landing leg over here. I'm not sure when that happened, but it's fine. We got however many that is, 12 others, 11 others. Okay, here we are. Are we still in the snow zone? Yes, okay. I'm gonna see if I can disembark without disconnecting from the lander. I think I should be able to. Yeah, we're good. Eee. Good thing she doesn't bounce like the rover does. We're at the monument? How can that be? Makes no sense. Or was I looking at an old sample? I must have been looking at an old sample. Yeah, okay. Oops. There we go. Okay, now we still got a pretty good amount of fuel. Thinking what we might want to try to do is get over here, because I think this doesn't look like a snowdrift, this looks like something else. Let's figure out how to read the compass, maybe? Let me control from here. Okay, we're good. So north is this way. You want to head, like, east, I think. I hope we're heading the right way. We are not. We're headed the opposite of the correct way. Not sure how I managed that, but okay. Oh shit, we're gonna run out of fuel. Maybe that's actually... These are remaining fuel and velocity here to try to get into orbit. I'll wait till we get to the apex of this current jump here. Or do we land again? I can think about landing again. Let's see how far this current jaunt takes us. Really want to land here. Looks cool. I want to see what it is. I think the snow area is like this area, it seems like. We're like launching off into orbit here. Holy cow. I want to land like right where we're at right now, but I don't know if we have enough fuel to make it up again. Yeah, let's save it. I'm gonna try to make one more landing. Doing that. think that should be just about a... Let's see. Yeah, that's right. That's about right. We're still going upward, though. We'll just wait. It's fine. Oh my goodness. Got a little too carried away there. Let's get reoriented. What just happened? Oh, you like this game? Okay. And again, we're going to set this to be straight down instead of whatever orientation this happens to be once we land, because that's what messes me up sometimes. We're going to have a little bit of sideways or momentum, but it shouldn't be too bad. I think it's like the longer we wait before we slow down, the less energy it takes for us to land. Assuming we have enough ISP or whatever to actually land without crashing. Getting close to our landing speed. Have a little bit of a drift here. Oh, snap. Okay, this is actually okay. Whether we have enough fuel to get back to orbit after this, I don't know, but... Turn the SAS on and off to try to just neutralize our movement here. Okay, we're good. Let's take some more readings. Oh, we're still in snowdrifts, darn it. I thought we were going to be in a different biome. I wonder if we're going to do a little EVA here. I believe we're going the right way here. I think we are. Oh, we're heading east? I don't want to head east. And this compass is very confusing. Okay. Because this is saying we're going east, this is saying we're going north. $650 science and samples if we can return them to KSC. It's going to be a tall order, but I think we can give it a good try. Still in the snowdrifts. It looks like a different biome from orbit, doesn't it? Maybe it's not. It does look like there's snow on the ground still, kind of. Maybe we're not quite there yet. I think we're not quite there yet. Feeling we might also be heading the wrong direction at this point. That's north. Yeah, I think we're heading due east. That's not where we want to be. Looks like there's a mountain or something there. We might be able to get something different off of that. We even have a little bit of velocity now. Nice. We got enough of it to get a trajectory. We might have missed our mountain opportunity. I don't know, kind of just wasting RCS at this point. Let's land where we are now. Still says snowdrifts. Oh, I guess that mountain that we saw over there was a crater rim, so it's a good thing we didn't go that way. We wouldn't have gotten anything anyway. So we're not gonna get the Science Junior from this, but we can at least get the crew observation and the sample report, the surface sample. Oh, we're in low orbit now. Invalid research location. At least for the surface survey. Hold on. Observation. You already got that. That was the low orbit. See what we get now when we hit the surface. Still snowdrifts. Oh, you know what? There's definitely another biome down here. I'm going the wrong way. So north is 0 degrees. So west is 270. I'm gonna go southwest, which is this way. It's too bad this rock isn't a thing. I feel like it'd be cool to take samples from this rock. You know. Doesn't really matter if we run out of RCS fuel. We'll just take longer because we gotta walk back. I guess if I die on landing, then it does matter. Whee! It's a cool view. So we're gonna do like a braking burn when as we get down here. So checking out this RA, whatever this is. Well, it keeps switching to sea level. and I actually know what speed I can safely land at. If this will realize this will probably be just fast enough to break all the bones in this guy's body. Oh, we just flew 50 kilometers. Damn. I should have watched this more carefully. Man, when was the last time I saved it? With this autosave. Let's see where we're at here. Might be already... Okay, we're at this rock. Okay, cool. So again, 0 is north. We're trying to go southwest. Gonna just bunny hop a couple times without using the jets too much. Could actually stop over at the craft and refill our RCS. That'd probably be the way to go, actually. Okay, so we can safely land at under 35 meters per second. Good to know. Imagine being in a... Did my fucking lander just explode? God, why? This fucking game, man. I love it so much, but it's so fucking buggy. Okay, we're just gonna let Valentina land. I wonder if it's because I left SAS on. Also tried turning down the spring strength. Set it to maximum to make it easier to get the rover out from underneath there. Don't need that anymore now that it's landed. We lost another one of these legs. That's why it flew up in the air, because this glitched into the terrain and exploded. Seems like we also lost a ladder somehow. There we go. Or did I have them controlled independently? No, that ladder's still there. Okay. So north, west, no, northwest, southwest, there we go. Yeah, we got a full tank now, so let's cruise a little bit. Almost there. There we go. We're going to time warp to the halfway point and then start slowing down until we get to a more reasonable speed. And then we'll do an extra hop at the end if we need to. She looks concerned. I would be too in her shoes, I think. Did we get to the apex or not yet? I think we did. We're going to keep it below 30 from this point forward. If we can. We should be able to. We're going to spend a little more fuel than we did going up. Drifting back a little bit in the opposite direction. I wasn't thrusting completely vertical. Just about there. Alright, we're here. And where's here? The Maria's that way. Arctic ice. Oh, this is different. Like get 2 biomes instead of 1. Sandy surface seems to glitter in the starlight. We were expected to find snow. There's only strange green sand. Why is it called Arctic ice then? So this is the green sand flying underneath us now. Kind of cool exploring this strange terrain. Maybe this is the ice and we were only just getting onto the edge of it. Let's see. Minimus sheet ice. You record the crew's assessment of the situation. That's boring. Okay. Take a couple hops to get back there instead of trying to do it all in one go like we did before, since we used way more fuel than I thought I was going to. Go a little bit easier this time because we're about to jump into the crater, I think. Oh, not yet. I'll put away the RCS in case we need some to like get back out of the crater or something like that. Kilometers. Wonder if I should deploy the rover and send it to go get this guy. I think it would take forever to get here, though. And when I got there, I'd have a hard time stopping it. Answer another work question while I'm holding this down here. Why did it make that noise? We just come in physics reigns over the lander again or something? Must have. Any way at all that I could speed this up? Probably not. mean, I could use the last of my lander's fuel, right? But that's probably not the way to go here. So we're trying to get back to the lander because we ran out of fuel, ran out of RCS fuel. I spent too much of it on the braking burn on the way down. I was hoping to be able to make like a two-way trip, but it's not working out. So we're just trying to get back to. We are currently here. I just went down and explored this area, which is the Minmus ice sheet area, and now we're gonna cross this crater and get back to our lander. I can't even tell if I'm going the right way anymore. Here we go. Wait, what is that? Oh, there's something in orbit. It's... Oh, that's an... I think that might be part of the craft that got us here, or could it be another one? No, I think that was another one. I got disoriented when I opened the map. Darn it. Okay, which compass direction do we have to head? Northeast. Northeast is going to be 45 degrees? Yeah. There it is. Okay. This raid's going to take us like an hour to get there. Sucks. There's no way to speed it up, though. Except I could... You know, it might take me less time in real time to launch another lander and land it down here and bring this guy over there. But I'm trying to avoid that. So the next flight that we launch, we're not going to include a rover. Yeah, so the rover's over there at the 30-kilometer mark. I was saying I could try to drive it over here, but I think if I do, it's going to be a pain in the butt to get it connected up again, and it's going to take probably just as long to get it over here because I'm going to be fighting with it constantly to keep it on the ground, and then when I get it here, it's going to be really hard to make it stop. So I think this is going to take me less time in the long run, even though it's a pain in the butt. Especially with this big crater here. Not really sure whether the hopping is faster or slower. Doesn't seem to make a big difference. Oh, that was concerning. Kind of slipped down the crater wall there for a second. Wonder if I'd come in from the south side of the crater, if I could have exploited that effect to get me across faster. I think I'm going to spend my last little bit of RCS fuel here and fly up out of this crater. That is what I was saving it for. Be a little careful, because if I hit the crater wall at 400 meters a second, I'll probably die. I have 2 Kerbal stranded, Bob on Tylo with 1.3 dV, not enough to get to orbit, and Valentina on Lathe with 3.1 dV, which should be enough, but it's not. So I'm planning a huge rescue mission. Oh, that's cool. So you're gonna do them both in one mission? I think we just ran out of RCS fuel. We're out. I'm really tempted to try to fly the lander over here, but the lander is almost out of fuel too. And if I lose the lander, I'm going to lose a lot of science, I think. Unless Valentina has it on her person, I'm not sure. In one go, but I'll need to send another transport ship for refueling. Both moons need tons of DV to land. Oh, what moons are Tylo and Lathe of? Is that like moons of Jewel or something? Jewel, oh, that's rough. Yeah, you get your work cut out for you. Paper, you need 2.4 dV for Tylo and 2.9 for Lathe, but I never managed that. I always need around 10% more. Yeah, you really gotta bring more than it says that you need. I always find that too. I mean, maybe if you're like a super expert, real life rocket scientist, and you know exactly the optimum way to use energy, you could get really close to that. But I always find that I need a whole bunch more, like 1,000 more dV than whatever the game says I need. Of course, in this case, like the mission that I'm currently on, I ended up having a lot of leftover DV, and I just ended up using that DV to explore Minmus, which is fine. Should really wrap it up pretty soon, but I really wanted to get back to the lander if I could. Oh, we're still on the other side of that big crater. I thought we passed through that already. I hit this ring in it again. There it is. I have 2 missions left to do. They're super hard. Land 300 tons on Duna. Oh my god. Land 10 Kerbals on Eve and get them home. Fun, fun, fun. Oh my god. LD once already, and I had a fleet of ships. Oh my goodness. How does the landing multiple people work? Do you have to like get them all to be on the same craft once it's on the ground, or is it just like you they all have to be there individually at the same time? They put 9 rover seats in the payload bay and 1 in a pod, not sure at the same time. I did all. Oh boy. Maybe you could send an empty... That is pretty awesome, a 10-seater rover. It's crazy. I guess you don't have an actual rover, you're just putting seats in there. Makes sense. Lander on paper needs 16k DV, so around 18k. You don't land a lander, you land a mothership. Might be able to land it with no people on it. I wonder if the people have mass. They probably do, right? Could you? Is it less mass if you land it with no people on it? Barely noticeable. Okay. Alright. Would have a refueling option on surface would be easy, but you need to pack all that fuel with you. Yeah. I mean, you can space mail a refueling option for the surface. Just takes longer. Got to be able to do a bunch of docking maneuvers. But get it down on surface is a problem. Docking on surface is a no-go, I think. I'm not sure about that. I mean, we just did the rover and lander docking on the surface a minute ago. I think if you design it right, you can get a surface docking. Probably the way that I did it is like a little bit harder way. You might have more luck doing like a side-to-side docking. If you can build 2 things that are like the same height and you do it on level ground, you should be okay. Of course, if the thing that's already landed on the planet doesn't have side docking, then it's not possible, right? in the first game, you used to be able to do that kind of stuff with robotics. Like you could have a robot arm that Eve has 1.8 curve in atmosphere. I mean, you gotta get the fuel down there one way or the other somehow, right? But yeah, in the first game, you could use robotics to do stuff like that because you could have a robot arm with like a docking collar attached to it, and you could move the robot arm to where you needed it to be, and then attach it. It was a little finicky, but it did the job. That's a little tougher with the second game because you don't have that kind of stuff. At least not yet. Have you experimented with using aircraft in that 1.8 atmosphere? Like planes and stuff? I mean, you could probably deliver a whole bunch of stuff if you had like good parachutes. I haven't done an Eve landing yet in either game, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm just spitballing here. Tried planes, didn't manage to get them through atmosphere, not enough power to slow down. Ooh, that's rough. Well, at KSP2, they have those grid fins. I don't know if those are good for slowing down. Be worth a try. I haven't tried those yet. There's also like an air brake widget, isn't there? Leaf works so nice with planes. I recommend when you go there, go with a plane. You have so much fun. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll try to remember it anyway. Probably gonna be quite a while before I get there. Alright, I hate to do it out in the middle of nowhere like this, but we're going to have to wrap the stream. I'll probably do some walking off stream just so that we can have something interesting to look at the next time I stream. So I want to say thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to follow if you're watching on Twitch, or subscribe. It's free if you're watching on YouTube. Pat, welcome aboard. Thanks for the follow, and thanks for hanging out and chatting with me. And everybody, I hope you have a good afternoon and a good weekend if I don't see you. Take care, folks. Till next time.